welcome to the Electrify Chemistry. Sorry for the late video posting. So today is the lecture 6th and today we will discuss about first law of thermodynamics. In that we will discuss theory, mathematical expression and limitations. So first we will discuss about theory. In theory we will discuss origin. So the principle of conservation of energy is the result of wide range of experiences that can be expressed as the total energy of an isolated system remains constant through it may change from one form to another. So this statement says that the total energy of an isolated system, so whatever the energy conserved in the isolated system, the best example of isolated system is thermos. Okay, so the total energy of the isolated system means thermos remains constant through it change from one form to another. So one form to another means we can convert electrical energy to heat energy. Okay, so this conservation of energy states that we can convert the one form of energy to another form of energy. Second point says that so far nobody has succeeded in their attempts to disprove this principle. Means everyone is attempting to changing this principle, but everyone attempted failure. Okay, so the failure led to universal acceptance of this law of conservation of energy. So everyone is accepted means universally accepted that this law is correct and this is the law of conservation of energy. So it is considered to be basic law of nature and was named first law of thermodynamics. So the name invented from law of conservation of energy, that we can call it as first law of thermodynamics. Now we will discuss about history. So the first law of thermodynamics was started for the first time by Mayer and Helmholtz in Germany and later by Joule in England and Kolding in Denmark in 1840. Okay, so firstly the Mayer and Helmholtz are invented this law, and according to some changes, according to some research, Joule and Kolding doing their research and some kind of changes they occur. Okay, so after that we will see the statements. So first statement is that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but energy can be converted from one form to another. So I already discussed that energy can be converted from one form to another. Means this is the example, the lady is doing iron for their clothes. So the iron itself is a form of energy. So electrical energy is converted to what? Heat energy. Second point is the energy of isolated system remains constant. Means in thermos the energy remains constant throughout the time. So as you see in diagram, the thermos itself is an isolated system. Okay, so the energy in the thermos remains constant. Third point says whenever one kind of energy is produced, an exactly equivalent amount of another kind of energy must be disappear. Means as you see, the electrical energy is converted to heat energy. So there is no in between conservation. Means there is no storage of energy. So what this statement says, as energy is coming, the another form of energy is created, but in the middle there is no storage. So electrical energy is going to convert to heat energy. So in heat energy there is an absence of electrical energy. So read again the third statement. Whenever one kind of energy is produced, an exactly equivalent amount of another kind of energy must disappear. Fourth statement is energy of the universe is constant. Whatever the energy is created or destroyed, the energy must be. The fifth statement says that It is impossible to construct a perpetual motion which could produce work without consuming energy. Means it is impossible, it is not possible to construct any kind of motion which is producing work without consuming energy. It is not known that destruction of mass m also produces energy. The two quantities, that is energy and mass, are connected by the relation. Means whatever the energy and mass which is connected, okay, so there is a energy, there will be always a mass. So but this statement said that it is not known that destruction of mass also produces energy. Means whatever the destruction of mass, means whatever the decomposition of mass is also producing energy is not known. So E is equals to mc square, where c is the velocity of light, which we already know. Hence a statement can be made that total mass and energy of the isolated system remains unchanged. Means whatever the mass and energy is created in the isolated system is remains unchanged. Means whatever it is a constant. Okay. Next is the mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. So the first statement says that the concept of internal energy is used. So in first law of thermodynamics, the mathematical expression, the internal energy means whatever is happening in the system which we are considering. Let E1 and E2 be the energy of the system in the initial and final state respectively. So E1 is the initial state of the energy and E2 is the final state of the energy. When the system absorbs an amount of heat, in the initial state the system is absorbing some quantity of heat which is a Q, then the internal energy will be E1 plus Q. Okay. If W is the work done on the system, listen carefully. If W is the work done on the system, the internal energy E2 in the final state of the system will be given by E2 is equal to E1 plus Q plus W. So this statement says that when we applied any kind of work, so if there is a initial state, that is a E1, and Q is the amount of heat absorbing the system, so whatever the work is done happening on the system, so there will be plus Q, and work done by the system there will be minus Q. So the relation will be E2 is equals to E1 plus Q plus W. Then E1 goes left side, we get delta E, which is the change in energy, gives Q plus W. When W is the work done by the system, means by the system, the internal energy E2 in the final state of the system will be given by E2 equals to E1 plus Q minus W. So there will be work done by the system. Okay, so when we use by the system, there will be minus sign for W. Okay, so E2 minus E1, again the E1 goes left side, and we get a change in energy which is a Q minus W. Now we will discuss about limitations. The first limitation is that this law fails to tell us the source of heat and direction of flow of heat. Means whatever we are giving heat, there will be always there is a direction. So this law fails to say that. The second statement is that it does not define ease or extent of convertibility of one form of energy into another. Means whatever the electrical energy is converted to heat energy, the convertibility is not easy. Means whatever the convertibility is not conducted easily. So third point says that so long the total energy is conserved whenever any changes takes place, the first law is satisfied. but it does not ensure for a process to occur actually. So whatever changes happening in the total energy, that we will consider, but the actual process, what is happening in the process, that we can't. This law says that there is no assurity for the process. From the point of view From the point of view of this law, differences between spontaneous and non-spontaneous is no significance. Means spontaneous means quickly, and non-spontaneous means not quickly. So from the point of view spontaneous and non-spontaneous, this process is not applicable. Fifth point is that it fails to explain why natural spontaneous processes are unidirectional. Unidirectional means one directional. So it is fails to predict the spontaneous process, means quick process in one directional. Okay. Sixth law is that this law can't explain why all naturally occurring processes always tend to change spontaneously in the direction which leads to equilibrium. Means whatever the process is occurring, the changes in spontaneously, means whatever the changes is occurring, whatever the process is occurring, the quick change is which leads to equilibrium is not predictable. Seventh point is that it does not say whether heat change is endothermic or exothermic. As I discussed in earlier lecture, what is endothermic and exothermic? Endothermic and exothermic means heat is coming and exothermic means heat goes away. So it does not predict that heat change is exothermic or endothermic. So as you like my video, do like and comment and share also. Do subscribe also, as I am posting all such kind of chemistry videos. So thank you for now. Enemy is not an option now. We all listen now, we go dance and start. Sing Salavina, man,